I started with insecurity for the Sapiens, but then that sounded a bit stiff. So then I went to, something like this, no laughing matter, this internet. Wanted to make it a bit scary for you guys. It's not entertaining, it's scary. Scary stories today. Okay? And even this didn't sound very right. You wanted it also to be a little bit entertaining, right? Okay? So I thought about this, things they didn't teach you in school. And I'm pretty sure anything that is not taught in school must be interesting. But then I don't know what they taught you in school. I don't go to your schools, but I know what they taught me in school. I went to school. Okay? And it was a long, long time ago. At that time, there was no internet. So they certainly did not teach me anything about the internet in school. That was the era of bullock carts and snail mail. Snail mail, anybody knows snail mail? Yeah? Anything that's not email is snail mail. Not delivered by snails, but it comes at snail pace. Okay? Yes, so that's about the internet. So I'm going to tell you about the scary things about the internet, a few stories. But first I want you to see this, the story of the curious cat. My niece, my daughter has these cats. One is Shortky, one is Frankel. Okay, these cats, they are, always up to things, doing interesting things, never fail to amuse. And one day what happened was that Shortky, it found a bag, that bag, and put its head into it. You see a bag, you have to put your head into it. And while putting the head into it, its paw got stuck into the handle. And then it went around, trying to get the bag off, but it wouldn't come off. And Frankel was first watching, first thought, this is very nice. But then after some time, it realized that it's not coming out. And then, Frankel, it didn't even meow. It said, eek! Well, that's a story. We'll keep this in mind. This reminds us of something that we all have in ourselves. That apish instinct. You see something, you want to click it. You see something, you want to go there. Something good may come out. Okay? Yes, so the internet. You must have heard this WYSIWYG thing. What you see is what you get. WYSIWYG. And that's what we are all used to. You're looking at me and it's me here talking to you guys, right? And it's you guys there listening to me. But it's all about real people, real persons. This Qatar hall, it's real. I know that it's for real, right? It's very difficult to clone a Qatar house and, fool people. But when it comes to the internet, it's actually WYSIWYG. What you see is not what you get. Did you realize that? This is the important point that we need to keep in mind. That in the internet, nothing is real. It's all virtual. It's all virtual. Sometimes those virtual things have real things behind, but more often than not, there is nothing real behind. Okay? There are no real people. There are no real places. They're all virtual. So let me take you to some, places to show you what really real places and not real places mean. So I'll click on monshin.org. Yeah, this is my site. Yeah, can you go and click that? Yeah, I have, a remote operator who does my bidding. Okay, thank you. So here we see, these are the magical links. Okay, lots of links. We are not going to click them. Okay, but we should click, isn't it? That apish instinct in us says, try me there, so let's go and try. Okay, we'll click the left Monshin there, right? Okay, this is my site, This is a site I use for training, educating people, etc. Okay, so let's come back from there. And we have another Monshin there. That's also Monshin, isn't it? Should be the same one, okay? It is not the same, right? And in this case, we've got the gotcha here. We've got you, okay? It tells you that it's not the same place, right? It's like Houdini magic, right? And yeah, can we get back? So, on the internet, we can get to very strange places which are not real. It could be a bad place. It could be a cloned place. It could be cloned by a bad person for bad purposes, right? And somebody lures you to that site. And once you are there, you have big problems. You have big problems. And how do you get lured to those sites? Right? Nobody. Okay, good. Did you know that every email is a bait? It's a bait trying to trap you. Okay, let's look at emails. So the emails per day on the internet, there are 57 billion emails. Now the number of, the world's population is 10 billion. So this would mean that roughly every person, that includes the baby that's just born, to the good old soul who's just signing off, everybody is sending about 6 mails a day. Lots of emails, right? But these are all legitimate emails between real people and real people, okay? But the actual picture is something like this. We have 335 billion emails per day. These are all what you know as spam, which doesn't mean much. It doesn't mean much. But actually, each one of these are baits. So, when you open an email, some of us have withdrawal symptoms if we don't see emails, right? You feel left out, abandoned, right? You want to go and open an email, but please be careful. It's a bait, okay? And this email thing, it's insecure. Why is it insecure? Because it's done by, people like us and like you too. We are geeks, nerds, don't have the common sense about security, social common sense. We did it like that, okay? And then we put in a lot of things to make it very secure, right? Like what? So you get this email, this is from TEDx that I got. There is no way to figure out from this thing whether it's really from TEDx or not, right? But behind this email, there is lots of things like this, which you don't see. And if you look closer, and even closer, you see that there are authentication results that check whether it's really from you or not, okay? Here you see that there's a signature which was checked and it was passed and it's okay. So, you should not open an email unless you've confirmed that this thing is going on. And let me tell you, most of you are not doing it. Okay? Right. So, what happens if we don't check? Okay? Because you guys think, no, my spam server is doing it or something is doing it, or I can look at a mail and figure out whether it's spam or not. Here I have 2 emails, right? Looking perfectly similar, right? So, in this email, this is the one that came from TEDx, okay? And there, below that, I have the URL there, okay? There it says www.TEDxTohoku.com. So I want to go and click that. I'm a very, avid clicker, okay? So we'll click that, we get to the TED site, right? Okay, so we'll get back from there, okay? Do you want to click this one? We should click and see, isn't it? The curious cat, right? Okay, so please click on that one, okay? It's something different, right? It's something different. And then, now I wasn't counting on this. Something has happened, okay? And it says that my computer is infected by a virus and I should download. What should I do? Anybody has any advice? Any advice from anyone? Save me, help me. Anyone, no? Click on download, isn't it? Right? No, but this is, yeah? Don't click. I have been through that several times. I've faced so many accidents. I want to clean my computer. So please click on the download. It's terrible. So my goose is cooked. Okay? Yeah. So thankfully, this is just a demonstration of how ransomware comes. And please remember, This happens for real. This happens for real. It happens to good people, smart people, very, very smart people. Okay? So don't think that, I'm careful and I'm okay, right? And very smart people, for example, during the US presidential elections, the Democratic National Convention, their campaign manager, very smart guy. He clicked on that. And everything, all the information was stolen, and then it went on to WikiLeaks, drip. It impacted the election. You see, it doesn't impact one person. It's impacted a nation, and it's impacted all of us. So that's the significance. So please be careful about this. Okay? So now we come to SNS. It's the emperor of all apps. Anybody here who's not an SNS? No. I am not on SNS. I'm the only person? Yeah, well, maybe that's why I have a black beard and black mustache. Okay. Okay, so, this SNS, it's a wonderful thing. It's attractive. I mean, you guys all join it because it's so nice and expands your scope. Here we want to make friends. So we make friends on SNS too. Okay? And anybody can join. Anybody can join. And when we say anybody, that means anybody. Even my cat can join. Right? And you won't know whether Schottky is a cat or a scientist. Okay? So there are no bars for joining. Some places they have, unless you're older than 13 years, you can not join. Okay? And there's one thing that you need to join. You must have an email address. So that's the only real thing, an email address. And even my cat could get an email address, right? And yes, the requirements are you just need to have the internet, which you have everywhere. We have the ubiquitous internet. Okay? It's lots of fun. Okay? The thing that we don't have is, we don't ask for any technical skill, any social skill, security awareness. I mean, even we didn't have security awareness when the internet started, right? We just did it for fun. And what this thing has done is, the scope has suddenly gone. We are, the whole world is our scope for interaction, making friends. Okay, I'll tell you about the digital profile, okay? These things that we have, your name, address, telephone, your hobbies, your family, friends, okay? This is you on the internet. Nobody sees you for real, right? I didn't see the TEDx people before for real. I just got the email, right? And yes, this is you on the internet, and this information is used very effectively to find friends and to find, to be found by friends and to form groups and all. That's why you are on the internet, on SNS, isn't it? And all this information can be used for monetary gain. That's underlined and it's red, okay? And, this can be misused for sales, marketing, quite innocuous, okay? For impersonation and fraud, and for elections, right? And for public campaigns, Two very major things, the US elections and the Brexit. But it's not just those two. More than that has got impacted by SNS, right? But this information is always getting stolen. People are after this, people who want to do frauds and things like that. They're trying to steal this. So what should you do with this information? You should take it and, lock it up in a safe and keep it very safe, isn't it? But what do you do actually? We have actually taken all of this, okay, and put it voluntarily up on the SNS services. And the SNS business model, we are not customers. When we join the SNS, we are not customers there. We are just participants. We give our profiles, okay, and customers use those profiles, okay. They drive the business. They pay the money. Who are the customers? Sponsors, advertisers, okay? They use it for, promotions, etc. Then we have third-party service providers. We have data analysts, okay, who analyze the data and then figure out lots of things, AI and stuff, okay? So this profile, it's a very precious commodity, this profile, okay? And massive businesses are being run on this. And we don't have a clue about how to control this business. Some of the businesses are good, some are not good. Okay? And the most major type of business that's going on now is, you've heard of Cambridge Analytica. They took all this information and, they were the people who influenced the American elections also. Okay, so I will come to the closing thing, that the pen is mightier than the sword. That's what we learned in school, right? I think all of us learned that. But maybe now you are learning that the internet is the mightiest of all, right? It's really mightiest. And it's really a weapon of mass destruction also, if you use it that way. So we have to use this internet with great care, right? And the ignorant usage of the internet, it's injurious to health. Does that remind you of something? Every time you go and get a cigarette packet, it's written on that. I think every time you open the internet, you should see this message. It's injurious to health, your health, my health, society's health. Okay? So please do not use the internet with ignorance, without knowing what type of impact it can have. And in fact, the creators of the internet, that includes the creator of the web, is saying that it's dysfunctional. This is not the way it was supposed to work. It's become a platform which supports business models, which reward clickbaits. Things which are, dangle traps in front of you so that you go and bite it. Are we biting it? We do. We are biting it, hook, line, and sinker, totally, right? And that is creating big problems. And finally, we feel very, very, very sad and guilty that the information that we uploaded onto the internet, that impacts elections, that impacts people on a very wider scale. So we have to go back to the basics, go back to school, and start learning about the internet, right? Ask our teachers, ask our parents to teach us or learn about it, right? So that's it. Thank you very much.